Hi. So I thought we would talk a little bit about the making of my valentines. Um, so these start out kind of as obviously an idea, but I kind of go through looking for quotes around Christmas time because I know February is coming up and I need to start thinking about my valentines. And I really felt like this quote resonated for this year. Um, I won't go into details about life events leading up to this, but I really like this quote. And I'm hoping everyone else does too. But so we got a quote, all right. Years past, I used to hand paint each Valentine, but my list has grown up to over 60, so I no longer hand paint each one, but I do hand embellish them. And what I started with designing was this black background here is actually a painting that I've done in the past. And so I took that and it wasn't big enough to fit this card, so I made a pattern, and you can tell here that I flipped the painting, and then I made it seamless, so you can't see any seams in here. It looks like a very pretty seamless background. One of the cool things is, which you can't see on this one, but on before I embellish this, I think this is really cool. It looks kind of like a face, which maybe if you want to look deep into that, maybe it's like our souls, my soul, the afterlife. I don't know. I just really liked it, and I feel like it's very ethereal. So even though you can't see it when it gets embellished, for me, it's still there and it's still meaningful and powerful. And I hope that comes through when everyone receives these. So that's a little bit on the background. And then it comes into a matter of choosing a font. I liked this font because it is both playful and I think it has like a sense of like not whimsy. It's playful and it's got like some, what do I want to say, wisdom to it. So that makes the quote more powerful with this font. And then I had to choose on printing and paper, and you can't really see here too much. You can hear it. But this paper, I chose a thicker paper. You can see that here. Thicker cardstock, and this is actually laminated, and it's got it's like a dull laminate with a texture to it, so it almost feels like a canvas or a textured paper that I did this pastel on. So I thought that was really cool. And then I added my logo and my website in case I had more of these printed than normal, in case I want to sell these. But so that's the basis of the Valentine. And then we end up with this after it's all embellished, and you will see that in the video after this little intro. I did 100 of them, and because I'm hand embellishing in them, each one is unique. They are numbered 24. This one happens to be 24 out of 100. I chose this one because I really like the colors. And I think the interesting thing is I did not consciously choose each aspect of this complete piece. I kind of went with what I had, but what I find interesting is that how our brains work and our subconscious, because I decided to add these little scallops here. And if you notice the design element, those scallop, that shape is also the shape of this heart in the ribbon. And I feel like it just works so well. And it's sparkly. The ribbon is sparkly, and the oil pastel I used here has got like a shimmer sheen to it. So I think it all kind of goes together. And then as far as envelope, I actually wanted a different color envelope, but Paper Source was out of it. I wanted a coral color. So I ended up with the red. Red is universal for Valentine's Day, right? But I liked, so the criteria for the envelope liner was that I wanted it to come on a roll, because you can get more envelope liners, which I cut myself, you will see, out of a roll. And I also wanted the roll to be made from stone, which is so cool. Stone paper is like the coolest thing ever. It is tear resistant, water resistant, but the super cool thing about it when you're using it for liners or to cut things is that it cuts like butter. So smooth and easy. So that was my criteria. When I went to the Paper Source near me, there was a little limited on a stone stock in a roll, but I came across this one and decided on this one because the colors are very similar. Even before it's embellished, they're very similar. And I like mixing patterns. I like how the plaid pattern kind of complements this pattern when it's inserted into the envelope. And while I'm explaining this, I just noticed I got my nails done, and it's so funny, again, with our subconscious. I did not even plan this. My black nails with the colored polka dots, which just happened to match the Valentine. Again, not planned. But that's like a little bit of my thought process on designing this Valentine. And it's my first time making this type of video and explanation. I hope you liked it. Please leave me a comment and enjoy the making. Bye.